What's up, family? My name is ElijahAmmi, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is a grown folk channel. This is where we have heart-to-heart conversations and keep it real. Here on this channel, everybody matters. Everybody's family. Here on this channel, we express love because at our core, we are love. I love you guys, and thank you for being with me on this beautiful journey called life. Peace. What's up, family? Man, I have a special guest today. Man, this young lady by the name of Taneesha. Man, I met this young lady early Monday, coming back from New York. And man, we just started talking, and she said something about the crystals that I was rocking. And that's what got the whole conversation started. I had my headphones on. I wasn't trying to talk to nobody, you know, because that's just not me. But she saw the crystals. She started talking about the crystals. And man, it just went from one thing to another. And man, very insightful young lady. She started talking to me about some of the things that she's doing. And man, I was just like blown away at just the depth of wisdom that she has at such an early age. And it's just, man, I told her I want to bring her on the channel and just talk to her and just, man, just continue our conversation actually from early Monday. So, Taneesha, man, welcome to the YouTube channel, to the platform.
Thank you.
We call it ourselves a tribe here. This is the tribe here. We're family. Everybody's family here. So, Taneesha, what did you that actually got you going into crystals? Are you aware of crystals and different things of that nature? And then we'll go into the conversations that we're having before.
So, you know, honestly, the real raw honesty is that, you know, at one point in my life, I was kind of struggling with religion. Like, I felt like I know I believe in God. I know there, you know, He is the higher power, you know, but I just, all my life since I was younger, since I was very little, I've always had a hard time understanding the Bible or what people say the Bible is or what people say the Bible says. And it was always too hard for me to pick up a Bible and read it and understand it, you know. So when I would go to church and I would hear certain things, or, you know, just throughout your life, you hear, you know, people say certain things about what the Bible says about Judgment Day, you know, when we're in our end of days, or how the world is supposed to be, you know, and we see that the world today contradicts a lot of what we were told would happen if the world was the way that the world is today. You know, just reading the Bible. And I have one. I think my daughter probably, oh no, it's right here. I got this Bible when I was very, very young, actually, from a Jehovah's Witness who came and knocked on the door. It's called the Answers Bible. Okay. She came and knocked on the door, and, you know, we had sat out in the hallway because, of course, everybody turns away Jehovah's Witnesses. But it was a young girl, and I was probably about 7 or 8. And we sat in the hall and talked, and I just had so many different questions. And I was so emotional about the things that she was telling me because, you know, I questioned certain things. If, you know, if God created man and woman, then who was with God every single day to where they know what He created in the world before He created man and woman? Then we hear there's Adam and Eve were the first humans. Then I learned there was Lilith before Eve. Then I learned that there was humans before Christ, BC. So it's like, you know, I just got so confused. I didn't resonate with religion. I felt like I was more spiritual. I feel things, I see things, I dream about things. You know, I have a different sense of how people should be, you know, and how the things that we say, and, you know, if we just put the same effort we put into all the negative trends that we spread, all the, negativity that we spread, into spreading positive things, or actually, kind of lost.
No, you're good. You're good. It's crazy that you bring up religion, because I think that religion. I grew up in church. I grew up in a Christian church, and man, it's whoo. You know what I mean? I've gone through the gamut. You know what I mean? I was molested there. I saw the hypocrisy there. I saw the backbiting and the judgment and the gossiping and all the crazy stuff.
Right.
Different people in the church that's supposed to be musicians and preachers and all these other people sleeping with each other and getting hooked up outside of marriage, and all the stuff that went against everything that everybody was talking about. You know what I mean? And it's like we saw that stuff as kids, and so it's like, man, y'all full of crap. You know what I mean? I ain't got time for this. You know what I mean? I'll come back to church when I get old. Because that's what everybody does. We'll come to church when we get old. And back then, as kids, we thought 30 was old. You know what I mean? I'll come back after I did what I want to do, and I'm old. I'll come back to church. And man, in the process, I ain't going to church. You know what I mean? I'm more spiritual.
Right. You get to church, and sometimes you can go to a good church. I've been to some real good churches where the pastor is really talking to me. Like,
yes.
I feel like somebody who knows me wrote a letter or made a phone call before I got there. And then there's times where I had to walk out of a church one time because they sent through those little baskets to pay tithes.
Yes.
3 times while we were in. And this church, it was so big. It was a huge church. The first thing that threw me off when we went in there is that I think there was a Starbucks inside the church. There were kiosks as soon as you walked in the doors, right up against that same frame, where you could pay tithes, you could withdraw money, you could pay money into a whole bunch of other things, within the church. It was just so overwhelming when you first walked in. It was like you walked into an airport or a mall. Okay. And then once you got into the actual
sanctuary,
yes, of the church. I'm sorry, I think my daughter and Dad's about to come in. Hey. As you come in, as we got into the church where they're actually having the sermon, there's cameras, there are police at the end of the stage. It was crazy. Watch out, it was crazy. So the pastor at some point, the pastor was talking about sowing your roots or something like that, planting seeds to sow your roots. And the seed that had to be planted that day was $116. It was $116 for 2016, because that was the year that we were in. So you had to plant a seed of $116 for 2016. And only the people that had the $116 to plant their seed could be the ones to come up to the stage at the time and give their tithes and get a prayer from the pastor. Only the ones who paid the $116. Like, I was really disturbed by that. I was honestly disturbed by it. Everyone that gets up and does a testimony is testifying about something materialistic. Either they got a brand new house or they got a brand new car or something like that, but nobody is praying for family members that beat cancer, or waking up another day, or being able to push through something that we all tend to go through, like depression, giving somebody some type of hope in a different aspect, opposed to bringing envy and jealousy amongst people within the community because you're bragging about the things that you obtain, but you're not teaching anyone else or willing to put anyone else in a position where you help them develop or help them enhance a skill set that they already have in order to get in the same position as you. Yes. So, you know, I learned just talking to different people throughout my life, the difference between spirituality and religion. I always knew that I never identified as being atheist. You know what I'm saying? That was never a thing for me, but I was just confused because I don't want to be condemned by God for him being confused, thinking that because I don't believe in a specific religion, that I don't believe in him. So I had to find out how to determine which one it was. Was I religious or was I spiritual? And, you know, I'm still very early in my spiritual journey. I'm literally, you know, learning. I'm trying to talk to people as I, you know, go along. I'm trying to find, I don't like doing random research because I don't know what to look for, you know, so I talk to different people. If I see something that jumps out at me more than one time, I know I have to get it. I had a friend the other day who showed me some books that she bought from Barnes and Nobles. One of those books said, you are a spiritual being having a human experience. Out of all the books that she had, that was the only one that like caught my eye, and I was like, I need that book. You see what I'm saying? So I told her to send me that book. And then a couple days later, you know, I was working and I met this girl, and like, I don't know, there was just like this connection, like we are the same. She's a very spiritual being. She liked a bracelet that I had on that I made. It had hematite, amethyst, and rose quartz. So she was in my bracelet. She liked that. I told her that I made it, and then we just started talking. And
that's a powerful combination. The hematite, rose quartz, and amethyst. That's a real powerful combination.
Really? I'm still learning crystals, but I know at the time that I looked them up, I know that is what I needed when I made my bracelet. And then I have my oldest daughter has rose quartz because her favorite color is pink. And then my youngest daughter's bracelet is made out of the amethyst because her favorite color is purple. But I keep losing my crystal Bible. I've bought it twice so far, and it just keeps disappearing. I don't know.
Hey, you know what? Hey, so let me tell you something about that. So don't really go by the crystal Bible.
Okay.
I have it. I'm not saying anything's wrong with it. I have it in storage. What I had to learn was that, you know what? It's not up to other people's interpretation of what this crystal represents to you. Does that make sense? Because each of us have our own different, it's kind of like religion. You know what I mean? In the crystal world, in the spirituality world, you're going to have all these, oh, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to have this crystal, you got to have this crystal. And it means this, and it means this. That crystal may not mean that to you. You know what I mean? It may mean something totally different. And so it's up to you as an individual, work with whatever you got to, I like this. No, I'm not really feeling this. Or, you know, they say it means this, but I'm not really feeling that. To me, it really represents something totally different. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So don't get caught up into the dogma of, okay, this crystal's for this and this is only. It could be something totally different for you.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Speaking of that, man, we were talking the other night. We got into talking about the state of the world. We got into start talking about just partnering with different people and working with different people, and just the division that it's like just plaguing our country, our society. Everybody's all about themselves. I'm gonna get mine, and you know, you get in where you fit in. And you kind of brought that up in regards to the church. All those people getting up talking about, I got mine, but they ain't really trying to help anybody else get theirs. You know what I mean?
Look at her. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. And so, in regards to that, I'd like to talk to you a little bit more about that in regards
Okay.
to because you have your own little stuff that you're doing, right? I have your business card. Would you like to
Yes.
talk about some of the things that you do? You talked about some of the crystals that you're working with. And before we even got on, I saw a sword that you made, a dagger that you made that was like freaking bad. I mean, that dagger was bad. You know, you have to show us that. Yeah. And so, but yeah, tell us a little bit about what you do as far as your crystals and stuff. And I'm going to plug your information in because I'm all about showcasing other people's talents, other people's abilities, their gifts, their, you know, what they give to the world. Because that's what we're here for. That's what we're supposed to be here for. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
helping each other, you know?
Right.
And so talk a little bit about what we're talking about Monday morning, I believe it was.
So really I am just, I have a handcraft business and everything, where I do all types of custom goods, custom handmade goods. Ultimately, I want to have a YouTube channel where I am doing DIYs and tutorials, things like that. I want to be able to teach other people a trade or a skill set.
Yeah.
So I haven't narrowed down my niche because I can do so many different things, and I want to I want to learn everything that I can because I am a firm believer in if we teach a man to fish, then he's going to learn to fish, feed his family and feed his neighbor. And then that neighbor is going to feed their neighbor and feed their family. You see, so the world will be more, willing to teach each other and give to each other instead of the requirement where you have to pay the cost to be the boss. Like, that's what I keep trying to stress to people on a consistent basis. Like, there's so much crime in the world right now. In my personal opinion, there's so much crime in the world right now because people are selfish. They dangle their money and they pass it out the way they want to, in a way that it's still going to put them on this platform where they are worshipped by certain people. You understand what I'm saying? Where they feel like they can play God, they can make anything happen, they can do anything, but they're dangling these fish in front of people. And then they wonder why we have so many people in the world who, get angry about you coming in spoon feeding them this fish every day when they have this skill set that can be, beneficial to you. And if not beneficial to you, beneficial to them where they can help somebody else. And that your blessings will always come back to you. But the world right now is just so selfish. People want to make resources so hard to obtain. They want to give, the world doesn't believe in second chances. We want to be so judgmental instead of seeing, every time I see a homeless person on the street, I really wish that I can take them in and clean them up and teach them how to do something, and then put them in a position where I give them some resources where they can get the assistance that they need to get into a home, some type of sheltered, some type of home. You see what I'm saying? They can be put in a better position to get themselves together, using the skill that they obtain. And who knows where they will go in the world. Sometimes a lot of people that are out here on drugs, that are out here committing crime, are literally doing it because they probably had a fire inside of them, a passion, a very strong skill set, or a very beneficial skill set, and nobody believed in them. Nobody showed them, the way. Nobody, believed in them to where they would invest in them. Sometimes we need investors. Sometimes we just need the support. Sometimes we need the word of mouth, but because of how a person looks, or, how they may speak, or what their racial background, their background is, we we don't want to help them. We feel like we're better than them, or we put ourselves on this pedestal where, well, I had to work this hard and I had to do this, that, and the third to get where I'm at. Why would I teach this person for free? Why not? Why wouldn't you? Just because I am in a position where I'm sitting here talking to you today doesn't mean that somebody who has a whole lot more knowledge than me, you know, a whole lot more wisdom than me, a whole lot more skill set than me, shouldn't be right here talking to you because they're homeless on the street. They may be dirty right now. They may have on dirty clothes. They may have, you know, messy hair, but I'm going to judge this person by the way they look and not give them a chance. You understand what I'm saying? Because I feel like if I got it this way, they have to go out there and get it this way. They may not be as articulate as I am. So they may not be able to put in words what it is that they're trying to do. They may not have the resources or the finances or the support to go out there and get the supplies and the materials or the things that they need in order to showcase their skill when they're trying to pitch themselves as who they are and what it is that they're capable of doing. So if I have it and it's not going to hurt me at all to teach this person, why would I deprive them of that? That's selfish. You understand what I'm saying? So eventually this person's going to get angry because I come around every so often, flashy with my flashy car, with my nice jewelry and my nice clothes, and I might feed the community for a day. And then when they leave, they watch me on TV living a lavish life while they are starving in poverty. Eventually, they're going to get tired of me coming out here dangling one fish in their face, not giving enough back, not teaching anybody how to keep that going in the community on a consistent basis. And somebody's going to rob me possibly the next time I come in because they are hungry. They're starving.
Yeah.
Dog eats dog world. You are training these people to be dogs out here, and you have a dog mentality where you're selfish. You only think about yourself. You only eat by yourself. So that those dogs is going to be the survival of the fittest. Then people need to make better decisions, I guess you can say, or people need to be more willing to just not be judgmental. I'm not even going to say not be so judgmental, because we don't need to be judgmental. We all have a story. We have all been through something in our life, you know, that we are not proud of. We have been through things in our life that we could have prevented, and we just decided to take the easy route or, you know, learn the hard way. We should not be judged by our past if we are truly willing to change. And for those that we see in the world that we feel we can't change, we should never give up on them. Instead, redirect them as much as possible until we are able to put them in the path of someone else who can reach them and change them or help them with the change that they really want, but they don't understand coming from us. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Just like I was telling you the other night, as far as like us all looking at ourselves as motivational speakers. You don't have to have the label of a motivational speaker. Me by myself, I know that there's at least 5 people in this world who will listen to everything that I say because they know that I mean good. They know that I love. They know that I want to do what is right. So they are willing to listen to everything that I say, learn from me, and do everything that I say the way that I say it, so that they can go out and carry it out and spread the word. So if I'm in a room with 500 people and only 50 people are listening to me, 50 people take away from me the word that is that I'm trying to spread into the world, I'm not going to leave the room because 450 people aren't listening to me in that room. I'm going to focus on the 50 people that are in that room, and I'm going to allow them to spread my word through the 450 people that weren't listening, because somebody in that room is going to resonate with somebody in the room that resonated with me. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, but yeah. We get so easily discouraged. You know, like I said, we're so judgmental. You know, we are just like we're programmed, and we're programmed, and we have to reprogram ourselves as a unit in totality from, North Carolina to Afghanistan. If you can spread a trend, a dance or a song when they don't even speak good English in Afghanistan, but here they are rapping this song. They know this rap song word for word. Do you understand? And they got this dance down pat that you see these young guys doing and chilling at a family cookout in Chicago. You understand what I'm saying? If we can spread a dance or we can spread a rap song, why can't we set a trend? Each one teach one. You understand what I'm saying? Why does it have to be so hard to obtain daggone resources in order for us to provide better lives for ourselves and others?
No, you know what? I love what you're talking about.
I'm sorry I talk so much so fast.
No. You're good. You're good. Everybody hears me on the platform all the time, so it's a nice break for them to be able to hear somebody else. You know what I mean? And so, but I love what you're talking about, and you're absolutely right. How is it that, especially within the Black or poor communities in America, where we're destitute of finances and resources and education and all this other stuff, and yet we set the trends for the rest of the world, whether it's sagging of the pants, whether it's one leg up with the sweatpants and one leg down, whether it's the big gold chains, whether it's whatever it is, we're the trendsetters on so many different things, whether it's the dance, it's the stupid stuff that we do, why can't we as a society come together and say, you know what, let's spread love the same way. Let's spread true knowledge the same way. Let's spread information that's going to help people heal from the trauma and the drama that they've experienced in life. Let's spread some positivity. Let's not spread so much distractions, because all this dance and all this stuff is cool. It's great entertainment. The rap, I'm not into any of that stuff. You know what I mean? But to each their own. You know what I mean? But none of that's really helping us, if that makes sense. So why not just start spreading some stuff that's going to actually help and benefit society? You know what I mean? Let's start spreading some books that's going to actually open up people's eyes to what's real, some information. Hey, you know what? You're a queen, whether you believe it or not. You're a king, whether you believe it or not. And as a king and as a queen, you might not want to be out here dressed like that. As a queen and a king, you might not want to be out here doing this stupid stuff, because this is not what kings do. This is not what's becoming of a queen. You know what I mean? And so at some point, we have to start trying to help each other understand who we are. Because if we leave it up for everybody else, man, we're going to be lost. You know what I mean? We're going to be lost trying to find our identity in this capitalistic society of, man, I got to get mine. Everybody else is getting theirs, but I don't know who the heck I am. I don't know what my purpose is. Therefore, I have no idea how to go get mine. And the only way I know how to get mine is out here slanging, banging, robbing, jacking, and all this other stupid stuff. Or I'm going to go hook up with some woman who got HUD housing. You know what I mean? I'm going to go hook up with some woman who got an EBT card or who has a job, and I'll go stay with her and play video games and just sit on my butt and smoke and drink all day while she working. But at least I've got a place to stay. And that's the mentality of so many young guys now.
And it's sad because when I think it was the George Floyd shooting, I want to say, or maybe the thing with the officer when they were rioting all over the world.
Yes.
Everyone was rioting, okay? That is the most idiotic thing.
I'm glad you said that, but go ahead.
That people could possibly do. The first thing that irritates me.
In the pandemic, nonetheless. Or plandemic, or whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean?
And then you're doing it. I told people where these gas prices are right now, I told them that this was going to happen. And I told them that this was going to happen. Rent was going to go up. Taxes were going to go up on everything as a result of these riots. Okay. People do not understand. First of all, you get these idiots. First of all, you get the rich people. Okay. You get the rich people that put on the raggedy clothes and hats and everything, and they come over here to our neighborhoods. Then we come out into our own neighborhoods. We tear up, beat up, kill our mom and pop shop owners, destroy the shops in our own communities, the stores that we go in, and we break into pharmacies and steal our grandmother's medication. You understand what I'm saying? Sick family members' medication, and break into all these stores and steal all this different merchandise. And people honestly don't believe that we are going to pay for all of that stuff that is destroyed. I'm talking about the buildings. I'm talking about, everything that comes, that comes into out here setting stuff on fire, cars, all this property damage, all this merchandise being stolen. People think that it is okay to be out here fighting people, killing people, hospital bills. Where do y'all think this money is going to come out of? Then we have everybody sitting here complaining about the inflation and taxes and, things of that nature. But you were encouraging these riots. Oh, I understand. If such and such and such and such, I would be out there too. No, you're not out there because you know better. Okay. For one, you know better because you know that a lot of these people that are out here will be identified. They'll go to jail. They'll be fined, yada, yada, whatever. So you have enough sense not to do that. But yet you can't when you go on Facebook Live, instead of going on Facebook Live and streaming what's going on, telling people, laughing, you go on live. What are y'all doing? Come get your family. Come get your people. Why are y'all doing this? Why aren't we? Oh my gosh.
You're good. You're good.
I'm sorry.
You're good.
Why are we not using the platforms that we have to tell the people that are willing to listen to us to stop?
Yeah.
We're tearing down our own communities. Even if you are not the one who is physically out there rioting, you are hurting your community when you're not out there, rounding up your loved ones, rounding up your friends, going on live, letting them know you don't need to be, please don't come out here and do this. If you tell a friend that if they're on their way out there, go home.
Yes. It's crazy because I just talked about this last couple of videos in the lives I've done. It's about the energy, you know what I mean? That negative energy of how we get so caught up in the drama. We get so caught up in the madness, in all the distractions, and all the craziness, and all of that negative energy and how it's fueled and consumed, you know what I mean? And it's spread like wildfire. But for whatever reason, we can't take that same energy and spread love. We can't take that same energy and go out and be a beacon of hope. You know what? I want to bring change into the world. I'm going to bring change to my community. Let me go out there and spend some time with some young kids. Let me go out there to make sure that these young people know how to read and they're getting help with their homework. And let me help some of these elderly people that may need some help. Let me go visit some of these elderly people that are in these nursing homes or whatever the case may be. Let's start spreading love and just joy and just, you were talking about the judgment earlier, how we're just so judgmental. And it's like, we have life so twisted. We have life so messed up. And at some point, we all have to come back and take a time off. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, we didn't do it during COVID. And COVID was a great opportunity. It was a great time for us to have a worldwide reset on a positive level. But we didn't do that. We didn't take advantage of that opportunity. We had so many people sitting at home collecting money, free money from the government. And there's nothing free. There's nothing ever free. Anytime the government gives you money, better believe that they coming back and getting that plus 10 times that much later on. They're going to collect that back from you. You know what I mean? And so people had all this opportunity to sit at home, to meditate, to get in shape and just work on themselves, work with their stuff. You know what I mean? But man, Netflix was booming, Hulu was booming, all this other stuff. And we were so distracted, with the Black Lives Matter protesting and all this other stupid stuff that was going on to keep us focused on the negativity. And right. So I would like for us, if you and I could just bring the conversation into how can we start spreading more positive? Because the foolishness is out there. We don't need to talk about the foolishness because, man, it's running rampant out there. It's everywhere. I don't care whether you and I both live in North Carolina. And we can see some of the foolishness out here. You know what I mean? And this is nothing compared to LA, Houston, Chicago, Detroit, New York. You know what I mean? And so how can we start spreading more positivity? How can we start spreading more hope? Because like you were saying earlier, everybody has a story. Everybody has a past, but how can we inspire and empower other people to say, you know what, man, it don't matter where I'm from. I'm going to chase my dreams. I don't care where I'm from. I don't care what my family is about, whether they're banging in prison or drugs or whatever. I'm going to be a doctor. I'm going to be a lawyer. I'm going to be an astronaut. I'm going to be an engineer, whatever it is that they want to be in life. How can we start spreading more of that? Does that make sense? And I guess some of that starts with you as far as a young entrepreneur, you know what I mean? Which is
I honestly, and sorry to cut you off, I honestly don't, even me as being an entrepreneur, let's just say that I wasn't an entrepreneur, but I know how to read, but John doesn't know how to read, but John knows how to build. John knows how to use tools.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? If John wants to learn how to build houses, I'm going to help John with the research. Then I'm going to teach John by showing him how to build the house. Yes. And then John's going to build the house on his own. I'm not going to have my phone propped up against something watching me teach John how to build his house. My whole journey of what I did in order to do this good deed for John.
Yes.
I am going to, between me and John, give him the skill set or help him obtain the skill set that he needs in order to do what it is that he wants to do. I'm going to be willing to teach someone who is willing to learn from me how to enhance, improve, or learn a new skill set. And I'm not going to post it on social media. That way, John knows that what I did for him was for him. Yes. It was because I care about him. I want him to prevail. I don't want to eat off John. Yes. I want John to eat. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And John is going to appreciate that. He's going to take it seriously because that is something sacred between me and him. He doesn't have to be bashful. He doesn't have to be embarrassed or, his ego be bruised because I have put on blast to this whole world, this man's business, and bragged about how I helped him. He's not going to take me seriously. I'm doing it for clout. Yes. You understand what I'm saying? Yep. We have to stop trying to show everybody that we are good people and just be good people. And you can't just do it for one person. You have to do it for any and everyone that is willing to learn. We make money. Yeah. I'm gonna just let that sit there for a second. We make money.
Yes.
So therefore, if we have more entrepreneurs, more business women, more businessmen in the world, then the government needs to make more money, then don't they? If we are in debt with these different countries, then we need to be over here, teaching each other, trading, doing fair trades. What can we give you for you Do you understand what I'm trying to
No,
say?
I completely get that. Yes.
What can we do for each other to help each other to even out the score? We want your world, your country to be beautiful as our country. We want you to have the same rights. We want to get crime out of. We want to put away the bad people over here too. We have to not just go over here and feed these countries for, you know, a couple days and televise it. Everybody in the world is not going to do that. But you can use the platforms. When we were stuck in here during the pandemic, there are all these different dating sites, Plenty of Fish, Tag,
Yeah.
I forget what else. They've been around for decades, and you know, I've been on them. Everybody's probably been on them to see what they're about, whether it's their cup of tea or not. But at one point, it was just a dating site, and I was off of it for years. And then one day I seen it on Facebook, and I'm on my business page on Facebook, but I see tagged on Facebook, and I see people live on Facebook. Light bulb immediately went off in my head because I had just lost my job. When I found out that I can go live on Tag and people come into my room and watch me and talk to me and sit in my room for hours just stargazing at me, I might as well sit here and talk about something that makes some sense then, right? Yeah. And while I'm doing it, I might as well work on my crafts and showcase what it is that I do. So as I'm sitting in this room, I'm listening to my lo-fi music or my old school R&B music. You know, I'm got my coffee going. It's a nice vibe, and I'm doing my crafts. And people come in here and they want to listen, talk to you, see how you're doing. Once they see where my mindset is, then they want to sit in here and talk and conversate. You never know the type of people that you reach. Next thing you know, oh, what is that you're doing? Do you do that for a living? Do you sell those? Okay, now I got sales. Not only do I have sales, but I actually have people who loved the topic that we carried in here. They didn't come in my room and see me twerking, you know, see me doing something crazy, see me sit here taking shots and talking BS. You know, we had meaningful conversations about spreading compassion in the world. You know, parents going through custody battles and divorces and things, ripping each other apart, not knowing they're literally splitting their child in half. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We have to take the experiences that we're going through or the things that we learn in life, and we are able to, you know, survive it and tell our story. If you are able to survive it, it does not matter how traumatic. I'm not going to say it doesn't matter how traumatic it was. I understand how traumatic it was, but if you survive it, you have to tell your story. You have to help someone else who may be experiencing that, who may be going down that same path, so that you can help them, even if they don't take your word or they don't do everything you tell them to do at that very time. When they start to come up on different things in their life that is similar to what it is that you talk to them about, they'll be able to apply what they learned from you in life. And you never know, you may be able to have them take that one left step instead of that right turn and making the worst decision in their life. But we have to be willing to spread that daggone our knowledge. We have to be able to spread, you know, the education, teach people. I don't know. I'm getting like jumbled.
You're good. You're good. You're good. Speaking of being an entrepreneur, I saw some of the bracelets that you had. You had a thing behind you, or some of the bracelets that you have.
Oh yeah, I got
on the other side.
I got a couple of them on here. I didn't sold some of them, so it's looking a little bare, but I'm gonna put some more on there. But these are different natural stones. Let me see. This is like one of my favorite sets right here. This is one of my favorite sets. Okay. Unfortunately, all my beads fell one day, so all of them got mixed up, but you have all natural stones, all natural crystals.
Yeah. I like that.
On here, yeah, I'm upset because, like I said, I had to mix them up, so it's kind of called bean soup. But I took all my natural stones. I made this charm right here. This has turquoise inside the charm.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And then you have some more. Was it jewelry on the other side on that brown casing like that?
Oh yeah, my waist beads.
Waist beads.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What is that?
Women use waist beads typically just to, one, express their inner beauty and love for themselves, but also as a way to control weight gain or weight loss. When you put the waist beads on, you can get them, placed position wherever you want on your waist, and you watch it. They'll fall as you're slimming, they'll rise as you're doing your gain. So it's all about what their goal is, whether or not they want to lose gain. But I have a couple different ones that I do.
Why? Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Wire beads and or stretch beads. I make these serving trays. These are I would prefer that they would be like wine trays, or either just as far as decoration. It can go on a stand on a shelf. Things like that. It takes me about, I hand paint them. They're made completely out of resin. I hand paint them. Takes about 8 to 10 hours to paint these.
That's cool. That's what's up. I like that. So how can people get a hold of you? How can and what's that on your wall? Do you do something with your wall too, or what is that?
Oh, my yeah, I do backgrounds. I do backgrounds for hosts, like things of that nature. So
Jack of all trades.
Definitely. I call myself the Jackie of all trades.
Oh, my bad, Jackie.
My bad.
That's
what I call myself, actually. It was funny you said
that. My bad. No offense, man.
No. It was just funny you said that, because I say it all the time. I say I'm the Jackie of all trades. Yeah. So it's just,
that's what's up. Hey, so what was it that got you into doing all of that?
I have always been into arts and crafts for some reason. Ever since I was little, I used to take the ruler. I used to stay on punishment all the time, so I really wasn't allowed anything but my book bag in my room, and I never played with dolls. So I used to write poems, and I used to do abstract drawings. And then I got into like paper crafts, and once I got into high school or middle school, I got into wood shop. My dad has always been like good with his hands. He can do anything. I am totally my father's child. Like my dad can do anything. He can build a car. He can build a house. He can do, everything. So I know how to do everything from flattening land with the bobcat to drywall, and I don't know. I really have no idea. I see something and I'm like, wow, I want to do that. I want to try it. My husband, he, at one point when I was married, I first met my husband, he gave me money to go get a vacuum cleaner. He gave me money to go get a new vacuum cleaner because he said that the vacuum cleaner didn't work. So, I've been on punishment so much, I've taken things apart and put them back together when I was little. So I'm like, let me look at the vacuum cleaner before I just go buy a new one. The hose was just clogged. I had to, dismantle it a little bit, but I took it apart. I cleaned out the hose. I got all the clog out the part that starts to pick everything up, and cleaned all the parts out, the filters and everything, put it back together, brand new. It looked brand new. He thought I bought another vacuum, the same exact one. I said, no, I fixed that one. He said, well, what did you do with the money? It's in my purse, but that's where it's going to stay for labor. It's in my purse. So, I've just always been into it. And then as I got older, and we have all these different Facebook groups, I found out that there is literally a whole craft world. We've always thought that we see shirts like this and things like this, and they're made in these manufacturing stores, or we picture them to be made in these big warehouses by machines, but really there are people out here that have these little machines that can create these ideas with their laptop and this little cutting machines, this machine I have behind me, so once I learned that, it was like, okay, I've always been a go-getter. If I got to braid some hair or, sell a few dinners because I can cook, then we're going to get the money to get this machine. And, I did my research on it and everything, and I just started buying stuff. And then I don't watch TV at all. I haven't watched TV in like 3 years. I don't watch TV at all. I am a very passionate and compassionate person. Like, I am a nurturer by nature, so I take on everybody else's problems and I jump really deep into rabbit holes, so I can't watch the news. I can't be on social media seeing all these devastating stories and things like that because it'll bother me. So I flood my brain with tutorials and DIYs and things like that. So yeah, I'm always trying to learn something new, how to make something else or recreate something, but yeah.
That's awesome. When you and I were talking the other day, we were talking about crystals and all that, and selling crystals and all that. And It's a trip because for some reason, some of us have this mentality that there is a shortage or that we have this lack mentality. And so we can't share our knowledge with other people because then they're in competition with us, and they're going to take money out of my plate. They're going to take food out of my mouth if I teach them what I know. And if I help them with this, man, they're going to take my clients and all this other foolishness. Would you like to speak on that real quick before we wrap this up?
Yes. I'm sorry.
You had your mouth full too.
I tell people all the time, that's definitely one thing that we can never worry about is if us sharing a vendor or sharing a supplier, teaching someone a different skill is going to put them in a position to where they now become a competitor instead of like an intern, someone that we taught, we molded, we helped bloom. You see what I'm saying? Because you make bracelets, I make bracelets, you do wire wrapping, I am trying to learn to do wire wrapping. You see what I'm saying? Just because you wire wrap, are you going to not teach me how to wire wrap because you're afraid that I'm going to take your clientele, I'm going to start making the same exact things as you? No. Even if I was to do that, let's just say hypothetically, I was to do that, my work is still going to be different from yours. Yes, we all have our own DNA. We all have our own touch to everything that it is that we do. So we can have the same clientele base who loves what you did, but then they also love a bracelet that I did that you may not have ever thought about because it came from my heart. You understand what I'm saying? It was something that I literally put together from my heart and how I was feeling. You see, so you teaching me and putting me in this position, who is to say that because I'm the type of person that is filled with so much gratitude, when I do get into a position where I'm more successful, my business is doing better, that I am not going to come back and pay homage, yes, if you could say, or pay it forward and put you on to some other resources that I have met as I've explored in the world, and I have come across different people and different customers who may be into or are affiliated with something that you have been looking for years. But the people that may be too selfish to put you see them doing the same things that you want to do. You know, you may share with a buddy that you want to build a huge crystal shop with a crystal mine where people can go and dig for their own crystals and then come in, be taught how to crystal wrap, you know, or either buy jewelry in the same place, all in the same place, but you don't have the finances to do it, or you don't have the resources or the knowledge to know where to go to learn how to begin to build something like that. But your buddy does. Totally not even his thing. He's not into crystals. He cares nothing about that. But he has the finances and the resources to do it. So he goes and does it because it was a great idea, opposed to him investing in his friend, investing that money into his friend who is passionate about it, who's going to do it right. And then you both eat so well off of this business.
You know, and it's great. No, I completely get it. And it's what I try to do with my platforms and everything that I have. And I try to tell people all the time, everybody talks about karma, you know, but everybody talks about karma completely wrong. They always talk about karma in the aspect of, oh, this person did me wrong, and man, karma is going to come back and bite them in the ass. Karma is going to come back and punish them with the root. And it's like, hold on, wait a minute, time out. Karma don't care what you do. Karma is not a judgment thing. Karma don't care whether you sow good or whether you sow bad. You reap what you sow. You reap what you sow. And so if you take your platform, however big it is, however small it is, and you take and you help other people, and you sow into the lives of other people, and you put other people on game, and you create opportunities for other people to get their stuff out there, no matter how big or how small. Karma says, hey, you reap what you sow, because you've done this for other people. People with bigger platforms are going to do it for you. Hey, because you put people on game, people with more are going to put you on game. You reap what you sow. If you won't do it for these people, then people with more resources aren't going to do it for you.
Absolutely.
So, man, Taneesha, we're going to wrap this up. Is there anything, and I'll put your card in the comment section.
Okay.
I'll put all your information, your business card and telephone number, how people can contact you and all that information, if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
We have a couple of minutes left, and I want to give you the final words. If you could say something to young ladies, young people, period, and this is you're on stage, the whole world was listening to you, and they gave you 2 minutes to speak, what would you like to share with humanity? What would you like to share with the young people in that 2-minute time frame?
I would definitely want to tell, especially the young people, the young boys and the young girls out here, all races, you know, they have so many different skill sets. We have these kids on the internet doing all types of stuff, making wigs, making clothes, creating their own clothing lines, designing tennis shoes. Believe it or not, breaking into cars, that's a skill set that you can actually do legally. You understand what I'm saying? Please learn to brand yourself. If you're going to brand yourself, if you're going to use social media as a platform for likes or fame, use the talents that you have in a way where it is more productive. It is actually given back to the world, and they are giving back to you. You understand what I'm saying? Build ladies out here, beautiful faces. They put this makeup on, they do their hair, they do, you know, their nails and things like this, and look flawless. That is a skill. You know, the money that we use and we go out here spend on weed, we spend on alcohol, we spend on pills, lean, whatever it is that we spend frivolously, use that money. It's less than $200 to get an LLC. $200 to get an LLC. And it's so easy to do. If you have a skill, please believe in yourself. Use that money that you use for that vice. Use the money, you know, that you use when you're out here hustling. Put it into yourself, invest in yourself legally, and grow a business, you know, build a brand, build a legal brand, and it'll grow for a lifetime, you know. I wish that they would understand that. I think that they need to grasp that concept. You have so many skills, you need to use them in the right way. So
Believe in yourself.
Yep, absolutely.
Taneesha, man, it's been an honor
Thank
getting
you.
to know you.
Yeah,
It's been an honor getting to talk to you. And man, I appreciate what you're doing.
absolutely.
I appreciate your energy. You have such beautiful energy. And man, I look forward to seeing you blow up more. Man, now the fact I'm out here in North Carolina, I don't know how long I'll stay out here, but man,
Yeah,
I'm out here and man, it's just great to meet somebody out here that's actually doing some things and got that entrepreneur mindset, you know what I mean, and understand legacy. You know,
yeah,
it's not about just me, it's about my kids and my grandkids and my great grandkids and all
yeah,
those generations coming behind me, that they're gonna know that, hey, I put in the work to get this going for you guys. And it's up to you guys to take it to the next level.
absolutely.
Man,
Yep, absolutely.
that being said,
Yes.
man, I
Elijah,
appreciate you.
thank you so much for having me. I am honored. I really appreciate it. It was nice.
Likewise. Talk to you. And when you get your YouTube channel, you gotta reach back out and let me know that you got it up and going,
I
and
will.
so I can subscribe and everything. And man, you got the information. Nothing
Okay.
stopping me from doing it, but you doing it.
That's okay. I definitely will.
All right. Talk to you later.
Thank you. See you later.
All right.
Peace.
Hey family, we're going to change the world, one person, one heart, and one mind at a time. We have to be the bridge that takes people from their darkness, their pain, their trauma, and ignorance to a place of peace, love, joy, and gratitude. Check out my website, ElijahAmmi.com. I love you guys. Happy healing.